Assalamu alaikum friends, how are you? What is going on in the country's politics? And obviously, as for the ruling alliance is concerned, they are desperate enough to somehow prolong their rule beyond the constitutional limits. Two of the assemblies does not exist at all, and according to the constitution of Pakistan, the government is bound to hold the elections within 90 days. But the government is using, trying, delaying tactics. And obviously, the government have to get the elections done through Election Commission of Pakistan. Election Commission of Pakistan says that we need the funds for that purpose, a particular amount of it, but the federal finance minister is not honoring our request and is not providing us with the needed funds. Election Commission says that it is the military, we have asked the military for the sake of help, but the military is not available to us. And they say that we want the clear cut orders from the Supreme Court of Pakistan that has not yet arrived. Why is it like that? Why is it like that? I think, as far the needed funds are concerned, the amount of money Election Commission of Pakistan has asked from the government, indeed, the national exchequer is almost empty. But to the surprise of the general public, to the surprise of many, the federal government and the existing provincial setups, they are not doing any sort of austerity measures at all. Every time there is a economic difficulties in any country or with any of the families, the first thing what they do is that they adopt several austerity measures. It's not the case here in Pakistan, unfortunately. They are not trying to reduce the expenditure of the government. Rather, they have placed new orders of the luxurious vehicles. That is very much unfortunate. That's very much unfortunate. And the governments like this one, they will never be able to protect the rights of the general public at all. But the sooner they leave, the better it would be. They shouldn't go beyond the constitutional deadline at all. I think that as for the holding of elections is concerned, no matter which government is ruling the country, the elections must be held on time, must be held on time, and must not be delayed at all. What should be done, rather, what must be done is that the term of assembly should be reduced from the 5 years to the 4 years. The terms of assemblies must be reduced from the 5 years to the 4 years. But the elections must be held on time. It is important to reduce the number of years for assemblies, and the reason is that there is a lack of patience here amongst those who are doing the politicking, those who are participating in the elections. There is a lack of patience amongst them. Otherwise, too, the world has become faster. As for the 4 year terms is concerned, almost all the developed countries they are doing the 4 year term instead of the 5 year term. So the reduction of the term is important. It's important. Plus, it is doubly important here in our country, and that is due to lack of the patience on the part of the political politicians. Now, as far the delaying tactics are concerned, I think these are not good at all. It must not be done so. The government must provide the needed funds to make the elections being held on time. Delaying the election will not serve the purpose at all. They might have certain other agenda, like they want to get free from the cases against them in the courts of law or whatever it is. They want to get it done prior to holding of the election, whatever the reason is. I think the elections must be held on time, and the delaying tactics are wrong, absolutely wrong. And the kind of help the kind of help election commission is in need of from the other institutions, that must be provided to it, so that the right sort and the trustworthy sort of elections are being held in the country, and maybe the elections will bring some sort of political stability in the country. That political stability will work for the economic stability here, and the stability is needed because there is a confusion and there is a lack of trust here. Everything else is not right at all here in Pakistan, unfortunately. So it is important that all the institutions, all the relevant institutions must be providing the needed help to the Election Commission of Pakistan, so that the election could be held on time. But it is very important with the consensus of the government, with the consensus of the parliament, actually, with the consensus of all the political parties in Pakistan. I think they should develop a kind of consensus that the 5 year term is not a right one at all. The 4 year term for the assemblies, the federal and the provincial, and this, I think that is really important, and that is the need of all. Thank you.